Right now is a big time for unionization efforts, including some of the largest corporations in the history of humanity facing unionization as we speak right now. So when the new president decides to weigh in on this, it's obviously noteworthy, especially when he seems to have the right position. Take a look at this video of President Biden.
I've made it clear. I made it clear when I was running that my administration's policy would be to support unions organizing and the right to collectively bargain. I'm keeping that promise. You should all remember, the National Labor Relations Act didn't just say that unions are allowed to exist. It said that we should encourage unions. So let me be really clear. It's not up to me to decide whether anyone should join a union. But let me be even more clear. It's not up to an employer to decide that either. The choice to join a union is up to the workers, full stop, full stop. Today and over the next few days and weeks, workers in Alabama and all across America are voting on whether to organize a union in their workplace. This is vitally important, a vitally important choice as America grapples with the deadly pandemic, the economic crisis, and the reckoning on race. What it reveals the deep disparities that still exist in our country. And there should be no intimidation, no coercion, no threats, no anti-union propaganda. No supervisors should confront employees about their union preferences. You know, every worker should have a free and fair choice to join a union. The law guarantees that choice. And it's your right, not that of an employer. It's your right. No employer can take that right away. So make your voice heard.
Francesca, what do you think?
Not bad. Lighting, pretty bad. Messaging, I'm gonna go with an A- here. I mean, he all but said Amazon. I think he should have just said Amazon and spoke about it, which sort of distinguishes him, I think, from if we had a Bernie Sanders presidency. Bernie Sanders already sent pizza over to the union, the workers in Alabama trying to unionize, which is what Biden is referencing right now, the workers in Bessemer, Alabama. But I think it's important not only that he said that no employer has the right to tell a worker whether or not they should unionize, but then he was very specific about the kinds of literature, the kinds of anti-union campaigns, which is like, they're not gonna stop because Biden said that and like shook his finger. But I do think it sends a very strong message that he's clearly on the side of the workers on this one. And I think that he and Kamala Harris should do more.
Yeah, and I think, look, so I'm mainly gonna be positive in regards to this. I would say that maybe I'll start off with the negative, which is all very good. Good remarks, love the content. Delivery was a B-ish, maybe, but anyway, it's Biden. It was a very Biden sort of thing. Even though like the way, like it felt like my grandfather was like giving me a serious talk. Like it really felt like that. So that's the Biden sort of thing. Now, on the other hand, let's also bear in mind, Biden, that you are the president of the United States. So when they do these things, you can get involved. Now I know he's getting involved. I'm saying there are other ways. Maybe keep those in your back pocket. Maybe you can deploy the DOJ to protect these rights and all of that. So, like I know some people will have no interest in this. Some people will be suspicious of this. Totally get it, especially when you put it in the context of some of the other policies that we've been talking about recently, and we'll talk about later in the show. That would be incredibly beneficial to the working class, like a raise to the minimum wage. Him giving this speech is not. It's not like, okay, maybe we don't get the minimum wage, but we got the speech, so we're even. Not even close. It's not 1,000th of it, but this is about as pro-unionization a speech as I have seen from a sitting president, and from the little bit of research that I've done, as there has been for some time. And arguably, he could not really go further than this in encouraging unionization without potentially running afoul of labor law. He can't literally say, hey, y'all at Amazon, you should unionize. He apparently can't do that.
Sure.
But he got as close.
We're still abiding by laws. We're still doing that. Are we still?
When
after Trump,
when violating the law would benefit the working class, yes, we're abiding by laws.
Yeah, exactly.
But
That's the only.
nobody finishes watching that video and thinks that he doesn't think that you should probably unionize. Like, I think it's pretty clear. And also, as you pointed out, why didn't he just say Amazon? You're literally saying the state where it's happening. Why not say the corporation it's happening to?
You just said maybe that's illegal if he named it. I think it's
maybe.
What I do think is pretty amazing is I'm sure there are a lot of people who didn't know that this was going on. I was speaking with the reporter Kim Kelly, who's been writing amazing and covering this story for Teen Vogue and elsewhere. And I don't think it's really on the national scale. I haven't seen it on mainstream news, right? I don't clearly, whenever there's a fight with like working class people, and this is a very much a Black-led, women-led movement right there in Alabama. You don't really hear a lot about it, right? We're more interested in sort of gaming out the future of the Republican Party, which granted, fascinating. But I think that he put it on the map, and that's a signal. That's good, and I hope this struggle gets more coverage no matter what happens.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I don't think this is an administration that's gonna step to Amazon's power, but we can keep the pressure on.
Yeah, and look, he could have not done this. It would have been very easy. No president really does. Like, we were very critical of Obama, who was like in advance. It was like, when there's a picket line, I'm gonna get myself some comfy shoes and I'm gonna be walking that picket line. And then as president, can't find the shoes. So like, this is more shoe than we got with Obama in 8 years. This is at least half of an old foot in a granddad slipper. Like, that's something. But we will see. There's a lot more that hypothetically he could do. And there definitely should be more attention. I would love it if like next Sunday, John Oliver did his thing on the Amazon strikes. I think that'd be great. But anyway, I won't force Francesca to listen to any more about him. So anyway, because last night was great about police raids. Anyway, I did want to just read one comment. It was awesome, really good.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.